petty. The Rockets are petty. So the Rockets have decided that they have not been officiated fairly in these playoffs, aka the series against the Golden State Warriors. There was a couple questionable calls. I feel like they were fouls, but the referees call the games more loosely in the playoffs, as we all know, except for the Houston Rockets. They didn't get that memo. And they're playing the Warriors, and they're upset. So they basically are talking crazy about him. Chris Paul's been fined for giving him a little shove.
Yes.
They came out with this. It's basically like a report, a montage or something about the officiating in 2018's Western Conference Finals, which is premier level petty. I appreciate it.
Some research.
Basically, we're saying that the referees were responsible for their loss, even though they missed 27 straight threes in Game 7, but that's minor.
Yes. 0 for 27.
They also claim that the missed trip to the finals cost them $20 million in additional revenue, and this is all just a very, very bad look for the NBA. Here's the thing. Nobody likes talking about referees. Nobody. When we were talking about the Saints, we didn't like it. Okay, whenever we were arguing about catch, no catch, I mean, for the rest of time, we're gonna have to hear about if Des Bryant caught that ball or not. He did. It's just nobody likes talking about the referees, and Golden State is not immune from this either. Golden State has had their conversations about the referees too, and the question is the landing area situation. Now, what happened with Kawhi is being brought up a lot when it comes to Golden State, because it did look like they weren't giving Chris Paul and James Harden room to land, and I believe you have to protect the shooter.
Right, with Zaza
in these situations
foot under his.
Yes. Yeah. Now I do think that Harden gave a little extra inch. Like, they were clearly trying to draw a foul, and like falling when you don't need to fall, but whatever, it's still a foul either way.
My issue is the Rockets talking. It's so hypocritical for them to complain about the referees when all season long we've heard and seen that James Harden lives at the free throw line.
Right,
that's it.
Right, and their statistics completely back that up.
Yes.
And I know the city of Houston thinks we hate them. We don't. We're just keeping it real. Okay, This is the thing. I don't want to hear complaining about the referees from Golden State or from the Houston Rockets.
Amen.
This is like it's such a complete lack of self-awareness. It's unbelievable. Just please be aware of who you are and what your reputation is. Now, you might not have to agree with it, but you know, okay? You know you get those calls, all right? You know you travel. We all know the setback is a travel, but we like it because you be making shots, all right? But the thing about it is definitely manipulation of the referees, okay? And I'm sure some of it was bad calls. Everybody gets bad calls. That's the name of the game. What I don't understand is how strategically this is a good thing to do. So Game 1 of the series, you want to come out and roast the referees? You want to roast them? You're not going to get any calls for the rest of the series. No. It's going to be called so loose now. The NBA has to fine them. I can't even imagine what the fine for this is going to be. They have no choice but to fine them. You get fined for having a comment about the referees. They put out a whole report. Man. And that's not a good look for the league. It makes the league look like the officiating sucks, and it doesn't. And then tonight, of all the things that could possibly happen, the referees are scheduled ahead of time, so there's lots of conspiracy theorists out there. Just happens to be that this was scheduled for it.
Right.
But Scott Foster and Houston got that real Trill beef, for real, and they do not like him, and there are statistics that back up James Harden and him not getting along whatsoever. Like, he's thrown him out.
The Warriors don't like him either.
No, this is the first Scott Foster game that he will be covering the Rockets since February.
Right. So it's
and when that happened, they did the Rockets did a similar thing, complaining about refereeing, particularly Scott Foster.
They called him out exactly. Yeah. So I don't get the strategy of all of this. I don't think it ends well for the Rockets. I don't want to hear Steve Kerr's pretending like he's flopping and stuff. Like, there's just no self-awareness from either of these teams. It's just frustrating. I don't want to talk about the referees. I don't. Nobody feels bad for either of these teams in this situation. You've gotten so many calls, especially the Rockets. And I'm very rarely on the Warriors side. I'm really not on the Warriors side in this, but if I got to pick one, it's come on. Right. Like, we know you get the calls. Yeah. The statistics back up you live at the free throw line. So I hope this is the end of it. It's probably going to be the story of the entire series, unfortunately. Ugh. But it is, putting out that report, ooh, honey, child, ooh.
The NBA is it's
almost as if they had it ready.
That's what I want to get to.
I mean, I know they have good people that work in the statistics department and stuff. Right. But it's almost like
No, that cut up was right. The NBA is a reality TV show, and they're trying to introduce refs as an extra character, and we don't care about them. I don't want to know Scott Foster's name. I don't want to try to be in there like that. I don't want to be in there like that.
I don't. Right? I don't care.
You gotta know.
Ed Hockey Lee is the only referee we recognize. Okay.
Right. Yes.
And that's because.
Right.
Yes.
And then the black one with the mustache.
Yes, that's it.
You. I like how I see him.
We're done. We don't need to do all this. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you. Yeah. It's very frustrating. It's not fair to us.
They're trying to think they're pulling us in. That's what it is. They're just pulling us in. And I'm watching.
Yes.